Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I have got a new thing to try today. Well, certainly a new thing to try filming anyway. So I've got this tiny little package here. It's come all the way from mainland China from a company called paintsomeway.com. Paintsomeway.com, who have very kindly sent me this little kit to try out. They just let me choose whichever thing I wanted. I chose this very inexpensive little paint by numbers kit because it's something that it's quite a fun thing to do if you're feeling, as I have often been just recently, if you're feeling like doing something creative but life's been so hectic and stressy that you just can't come up with anything. You've lost your mojo a bit, but you just want to do something because you know you'll feel better for it, but you can't think what to do. Something like paint by numbers or little craft kits or anything like that are the kind of things I enjoy doing at times like that. So here we go. Here's the little kit. I've taken it all out of the envelope. Let me just quickly first of all show you what it looks like on the website. Here we go. So it's only £3.88. I think they said I could choose something for up to $20, but I saw this and thought, well, this is what I want to try. You do have to pay postage, but there are always discounts and things. If you spend over $49 worth, that's probably about 40 quid, isn't it? You get free postage. I don't think the postage is too bad anyway. There's always little discounts as well, like you can see a 5% off discount there. There's things here like 4 for the price of 3. Every time I go on here there always seem to be other different little promotions coming up. There's a March sale there, buy 3 get 1 free. Yeah, all kinds of things always going on. Anyway, so this is the one that I chose and I just thought this was such a beautiful design. I love pansies. There's a better look at the design. Absolutely love pansies. Whether I can make my little painting come out anything like this, I don't know. But to be honest, look, that one shows a little bit of the process there. To be honest, even if it's just good enough to turn it into a little special little card for somebody, that'll do me, and it'll just be fun just trying. So let's leave that and go back to my desk and have a better look at what we've got in this kit. Let's have a look at this first. So here's the actual canvas. Okay, well, that's just a bit of packaging. I'll probably keep that. Order. Here's my kind of reference picture. Okay, right, that's what I'm aiming at. Oops, everything's rolled up. I'm going to take this in a minute onto a piece of board to work on, I think. So it's not too big, not too daunting. 20 by 20, I guess that's yeah, it's 20 centimetres. That's the actual finished size, is it? Yeah, so that 20 by 20 is the actual finished picture size, and then there's a border all around it of a couple of centimetres as well, 2.5 centimetres even. Smells a bit strange, but that's fine. I'm sure that'll go off. Okay, each of these little sections has got a number on it, and each of these little paint pots has got a number on it, so that seems fairly self-explanatory. And then we've got the little brushes, and a little little picture things to to hang it up by. I think if I was going to end up hanging it up, then I'd want to put it in a frame, so I'll keep those. Those will be useful for something. So right, rustling, let's get this over and done with. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 to 18. Okay, so we've got 18 little different pots of colour all together. Okay, I've got a little pot of water next to me as well. They're acrylic paints, so you don't want the brushes to be too soft. They think they feel okay. If I don't like the brushes when I use them, I will use some of my own stash of brushes rather than ruin it, but they look okay. This one's a little bit bent at that end, but if I dip it in some water, hopefully going to be all right. There's a little bit of a, oops, can you see, a little bit of a kink at one end. I might just snip that tiny bit off before I start using it. That would irritate me. Okay, I think that's a bit better. first thing I'm going to need to do is tape this down to something. I could have left it unrolled overnight knowing I was going to do this today, but I didn't think, so there we go. We'll tape this on here as well for reference. Right, I'm ready to go in. So I'm kind of thinking I might start with the lightest colours first. But I don't want to go through and do like all, so you know, so number 5 is kind of the lightest colour. It's going to be these lighter areas of the flowers. I don't want to go through and do all of them and then do all of the next colour, because I'm going to want to blend colours in here and there as well. So I'll maybe take one flower at a time and do the lightest colours within that flower. I think I'll start at the top and work down so I don't get in my own way, and I'll leave all the background until last. The background seems to be mostly in number 6, which is this dark, presumably black. But there's some bits here that don't show up too well there, but are actually in this dark brown colour, so yeah, you can just about make it out in the photo. It's difficult. I don't know how helpful this photo is actually going to be, because it doesn't really show those very dark areas that aren't quite black. Like there's some around there. That's this bit. So I might also have the picture from the website up as well. So we can see what I'm doing a bit better. I could actually go in and just print that off, I guess. So let's take this flower. Looks like one of the more complicated ones though, actually. And of course I don't have to keep it this way up. I can turn this around as well. So this one's got a lot of different numbers in it. Look at all the different numbers in there. Okay, let's do it. So I think probably I'm going to start off with this smallest brush, I think, because these are quite small areas. I'm going to try that number 18. Let's see what the paint is like. Nice, it looks nice and liquidy. There seems to be plenty in there for the amount of area you're going to have to cover. I'm not going to even think about filming all of this, because I think it would be like as bad as interesting as watching paint dry, but I'll do a little bit here and there and then just come back and show you bits here and there. So I'm going to go in this area is all 18, and it seems to go all up around here, so I definitely need this very fine brush. Now I don't want those numbers to show, so what I might end up having to do is go back over with these lighter areas. I'm going to have to go back over and give a second coat to cover the numbers, but for now we'll just go with the one coat, and I'm going to go just very slightly over the line so that I can blend it into the next colour. Because I mean, you know, these are organic shapes. If they don't look exactly like they look in the picture, that really doesn't matter. Just adding a little bit more water to my paint to get it more liquid, especially for these smaller areas, because that will help it to go on more easily. Nice. Impressed with the quality of the paint. Feels nice. The brush feels fine. So number 16 is also quite light, so I'm going to go into that next. So this is still 18 around here. I feel like I'm going to end up with a lot of paint left over. They seem to seal really nicely, so if I get part way through and I just want to leave it till tomorrow, that's not a problem. Okay, it's going to 16 now, and I'm going to just blend them one into the other a little bit. Just blend back and forth so that I haven't got a sort of harsh line. Yeah, definitely feel like I'm going to want to come back and do another layer. I can actually put it on quite thickly. Maybe I should put it on more thickly. Back and forth between the 16 and the 18 to blend them together. Yeah, I can actually put it on quite thickly, and there's plenty of the paint, so let's do that. So yeah, I think what I will be doing is putting the paint on quite thickly to see if I can cover the background properly all in one layer. But otherwise I'll just come back and touch it up later on. Speed through a little bit of this and I'll come back and show you how I got on. But it's quite pleasant to use at the moment and very relaxing. I will probably put something on to listen to and just get stuck into this. Paints is a very generous amount of paint. The one with the least so far is the 18, but there's a lot of it in the lid there, so it's a lovely consistency of paint too. Cool. How much is in that one? I must be anticipating using a lot of that one, but I'm sort of trying to use the paint in the direction the petals formed to give a nice effect, and I'm sort of flicking the brush a bit to blend. I think I'll get better at that as I go on. Okay, well, I think it needs work. I think it's going to need another coat, but there is plenty of paint there to do that. So I'm going to let this one dry and move on to another one, and then I'm going to come back and just go back with the same colours again, work a bit more and blending them out where they need to be, and I will use my reference, because I can see that I've lost some of the shape there just looking at this little reference picture. So that's got the base coat down. I'm going to carry on and go through this. I'm not going to make you sit through it because I think I could get deadly dull. But I will come back and show you how I'm going on, and if I think there's anything more useful to impart, I will definitely share it. But so far I'm quite happy with it. The materials are very nice to use. I've ended up sticking with just this tiny brush at the moment because these are really small spaces. But once I got these colours down, I can just follow what's there, and I'm hoping I can follow them once the colours are down. It doesn't matter that I can't see the numbers anymore. I'll be able to work it out or use my intuition. So yeah, I'm going to carry on and enjoy this. I'm really actually relaxing and quite enjoying myself with this. So yeah, very happy to carry on, and I think it's going to be reasonably quick. I'll probably finish it today or tomorrow, and I'll come back and show you how I got on. It's been a few happy hours doing this. Most of this has got a couple of coats on as I've gone along. I've done another coat and then you dry brushed over the edges to sort of blend them in together, but I still feel like, especially with the yellow, I still feel like it wants another coat. But having said that, there is plenty of the paint left. So I'm going to finish doing the background. Oops, the right way round. I'm going to finish doing the background because I think that will help me to see everything properly. And then I'm going to do one more coat over most of the flowers because I've got plenty to do that, and I think that'll prove it. I've been catching up on some YouTube videos and things while I've been doing it, and yeah, I think I'll end up with something I can make a card out of or something, and I'll come back and show you when it's completely done. Here's how my painting's looking this morning. I did do a pass over it, but I still think it wants more. I thought I was definitely missing some detail in this little kind of just photocopied print of the finished piece. It's really my only criticism of the kit is this, just having this little image to go on. So what I've done is I've brought the finished image up on the website. I'll show you in a second, and I'm just going to go over again and add in some of the details that I feel aren't really shown in here and I haven't picked up. There's loads of, the only one I'm anywhere near to running out of is the black, and even then there's some of it left, so I've got plenty to go back, do another pass over this. And I'll just show you the image on the website a minute. It's all dry now, obviously, otherwise this would be a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it? I've gone into the kit on the website and I've just clicked on this particular image and then clicked again to enlarge it. So I'm going to have that up on my screen in front of me now and just go over this again and see if I can improve on this painting. I mean, a lot of the little lines you see radiating out from the centres of the flowers there, I haven't got those at all in my version. I've missed out on that altogether. There is also some orange in the image there, and I haven't got any orange in the kit, so I'll stick with the colours they've got here because they look fine. But yeah, I think it can definitely be improved on. What I'm going to do now is use the longer, thinner brush so I can get some of those fine lines. But most of the way through I've ended up using this tiny brush because that just got into all the little spaces, and then I used this large one for the background, and I did bring in this one on my own, but I didn't actually, in practice I didn't use it a lot, but yeah, it was handy. But anyway, so yeah, overall pretty happy with how this kit's put together. It's been very easy to follow, and you could definitely, you know, call it done now, I guess, but I just want to make it as good as I can. And one of the things that isn't really showing up on camera, and certainly doesn't show up in this little image, is that here there's not much between, you can just see it if I hold it like that, there's a really dark, like some of these pansies do have those very dark petals, don't they? Very dark against the black, and that's actually done in that dark kind of reddish brown. So I'm going to go over those bits. There's some there as well. I'm going to go over those bits again as well, and maybe just run a very thin line just to kind of just catch that edge. So this will be all about tiny details, and I don't think I'm going to bother to film it because I just don't think it's going to be very exciting to watch, but I'm going to work on it this evening and then I'll come back and show you. Yeah, overall pretty happy with this, and considering the whole thing was, what was it again? Hang on, £3.90. Pretty blooming good, and I think I'll have enough of this paint left to use for other things as well. And I guess when it's finished I can also use the containers again, thinking about it. Okay. Well, you can see I've still got loads of these paints left. Even when it's gone down appreciably is the black, and there's still quite a bit of that left as well. I've done some extra details and extra coats, and a bit more kind of, you know, blending. I don't think there's quite a lot of scope for putting your own, you know, artistic flair into these things. I'm always tempted to do something different with the background, but I'm going to leave it as it is for now, see how it looks as it's meant to be. And I think my only criticisms have been the little image, the little reference image, but I've got around that by having it up on my screen, and maybe the brushes are a little bit softer. If you look, just a little bit softer than I might have chosen for acrylic paint, but I mean, I used this brush for a very short time, but not for long, so really I've done the whole thing with the brushes they supplied, and it's been fine. Yeah, if I was choosing for my selection of brushes, I'd have gone for slightly stiffer brushes for acrylic acrylic paints, but yeah, it's not a huge criticism really. Yeah, overall delighted with this. Now the fun bit is peeling all this tape off and hopefully leaving a nice crisp outline behind. That is the tape peel all done, and here is the finished painting. Quite happy with that, and I think it'll make a nice cover for one of the art journals or something like that. I could actually, because it's canvas, like I could actually stitch it onto something. It might be what I'll do. We'll see. That's a bit annoying, the light is shining off of that. A bit of an annoying way. I'll hold it at an angle. That'll do. So that's it from me today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done a paint by numbers. Would you try it? Do you think it's a waste of time? I don't think so. I think it's quite enjoyable. It's quite relaxing, and actually during the course of doing it you do learn some techniques like blending and things, and you learn to think about using all different shades of one colour to create the shape, and where the petals will catch the light and that kind of thing. So I do think it's a useful exercise as well, and very, very relaxing. So yeah. Thanks very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon.